Did your organisation's business continuity plan anticipate a global pandemic? If you're like most organisations that I've spoken with, then the answer is probably not. But did your business continuity plan, or BCP, include some other scenario which was similar enough that you didn't have to start your planning from scratch when COVID-19 hit? One organisation that I've worked with that runs residential facilities for young people with disability had anticipated what they would do if chickenpox broke out in a facility, and that scenario was in their BCP. That wasn't necessarily COVID-19, but planning for chickenpox gave them a starting point from which to build their response to COVID-19. Hi, my name is Andrew Ellis and I'm a business consultant with CBB. I haven't always worked as a business consultant, and in fact I worked as a lifeguard in my teenage years for a couple of years. In that environment we had to be prepared to handle any emergency that was thrown our way, and so we would often practice different types of simulated emergency events. It does strike me though now that most businesses don't spend much time in scenario planning or in stress testing their responses to different emergency events or scenarios. In business now, it's really important to have a business continuity plan, or a BCP. It helps you to be better prepared to manage any crisis that comes along, even if it's not always possible to accurately predict what specific issue or crisis that might be. Ultimately, having that plan will make your business more resilient and better able to bounce back after a crisis. If you don't yet have a business continuity plan, I suggest you have a look at our other video on what to consider when writing one. So assuming that you do have one, how do you go about testing and updating your business continuity plan? Once a year, I think you should bring your management team together, or board if you're a small organisation, and any other key people that you think are needed. Pick an issue like a cyber attack, the pandemic we've just had, fire or flood, customer or employee incident, such as someone being in a car accident, and run through a scenario as a bit of a role play. You can role play through what you would do, who would do what, the roles that each executive team member plays, who takes charge, who communicates with staff, what communications are needed externally. What if you had a media inquiry? What external organisations' help might you need? Legal, public relations, IT, etc. When should you notify the chair of the board, and how do you engage the board appropriately? At the end of that role play, you can ask yourselves what worked, what didn't, and what would you do differently next time? And then you can use those reflections to adjust and to update your business continuity plan. As well as the role play, there will be other changes over time which need to be reflected in the updating of the business continuity plan. For example, what's changed in your organisation or externally in the last year, and has your BCP been updated to reflect that? This could be changes in personnel, operational processes, technology, suppliers, etc. Hopefully you updated your BCP at the time of that change, but if not, make sure everything is up to date. What have you learned in the past year, and how is this integrated into your BCP? Have you had to respond to an unexpected scenario or emergency event? If you used it, what worked, what didn't work, and what would you do differently now? So as we wrap up, what should you do now? Well, just do it. Take a half hour out in your next executive team meeting or strategy day and play out that role play. Whilst it simulates a serious issue, it can be a bit of fun and also a practical learning experience for everybody. And remember, if you don't have a business continuity plan already, or you just want to check what should be in yours, then have a look at the video on writing a business continuity plan as part of this series.